Hey guys, so it is October, which is my favorite time of the year. I absolutely love Halloween and just the spooky fall atmosphere and all that stuff. So I figured the channel should go all spooky themed. So I want to do a shout out to Stromy, who made the banner art, and a shout out to Paragon, who animated the rain falling over it that I used in the intro. So thanks for that, you guys. So I realize it's been a little while since I've put a video out, and you may notice I have a haircut. Well, I started a new job this week, so that's kind of been my focus, but I will get back to putting out videos regularly. I just wanted to give the job my main focus this first week. Okay, so with that said, let's jump into some Smash stuff. First off, I want to mention some stuff about my last video, as there was some incorrect information in there, and I want to correct that now. So I was highlighting this one particular post that was talking about the 30 datamined spots in Smash, and also the 16 datamined World of Light spots, and it was claiming that the 29 or 30 spots, it was kind of unclear, were going to get filled up with alternate costumes. Now, I had heard this being said by a lot of different people, and I guess it was just this post kind of being echoed around without anyone really checking it. I'm no data miner. I said that up front in the last video. I was just going off of what I've heard, and I had heard multiple people saying this, and that post seemed to explain it really well, but it turns out that was false information. Now, it's not that big of a deal, because the idea of getting 10 more characters after the Fighter's Pass still holds up pretty good with the actual information we have. It's just that those 29 spots or 30 spots, whatever it is, are probably not going to get filled up with alternate costumes, or probably had nothing to do with alternate costumes. So this was first brought up to me from Push Dustin of Source Gaming. He messaged me about it, and we started talking about it, and we both kind of came to the conclusion that we weren't really sure what was going on. Again, I'm no expert in data mining. I was just going off of what I had heard, what seemed to be everyone was talking about. So Push Dustin did some research. Both of us eventually came to the conclusion that the whole 29 spots being filled up with alternate costumes was not actually what's going on at all. So Source Gaming put out a really great video. I strongly suggest everybody watches it. This is their information, so seriously go over it, check it out. They'll be able to explain it better than me, because like I said, I'm not a data mine expert here at all, about what is actually going on with the data mine information. So after this was found over on Twitter, I wrote, @PushDustin was correct. The 29/30 extra spots are not filled with alt costumes. It's been checked. I admit I'm no data miner, so I was going off of what I had heard from multiple places, but that was apparently false info echoed around. So once again, I strongly suggest checking out Source Gaming's video on all this. I'll leave a link in the description below to it, but I'll give you guys my brief understanding of this information. So essentially, the first initial data mine had 30 extra spots in the code. I've heard mixed things from 30 to 29. I looked at one thing where I counted it and it looked like 29, but I'm, again, no expert here. So I've heard 30, I've heard 29. Whatever it was, a number close to that was the initial data mine for Smash Brothers. This was before Piranha Plant was released. After Piranha Plant was released, in the next update that happened with Piranha Plant, those spots were all removed. So the whole idea of those spots being for alternate costumes is totally wrong. They were absolutely removed from the code once Piranha Plant was added to the game. So what those spots were for or indicate, probably nothing, probably just placeholders for any amount of potential characters. However, when Piranha Plant was added to the game, Piranha Plant did bring 16 spots for World of Light. Piranha Plant took up one of those 16 spots, so there were another 15 spots for World of Light. Then when Joker was added, he took up one of those remaining 15 spots. So we had Piranha Plant, Joker, and then 14 remaining spots in World of Light. However, when Hero and Banjo were added to the game, something interesting happened. Instead of taking up one of those remaining 14 spots like you'd expect, they actually were just added and the 14 spots remained. They did not fill one of those spots, they were just added in and the spots remained at 14. Now what's really interesting is that Source Gaming has found out there is actually a third place in the code that has these extra slots happening. So somewhere in what is being called the attack section of the code, Piranha Plant, Joker, Hero, and Banjo are filling up the same number of spots that were initially found in World of Light the way you would expect. That means in this attack section of the code, there are 11 blank spots. This is what we were kind of assuming was happening with the World of Light spots, which would give us 10 spots after the Fighter's Pass. So to recap, there are 3 different places in the code that have had extra slots. At first, there were either 30 or 29 found in the code. They were then removed when Piranha Plant came in. Piranha Plant brought in an extra 15 spots for World of Light, and then Joker filled up one of those spots. Hero and Banjo were just added to those spots, so there were still 14 extra spots in World of Light not getting filled by Hero and Banjo. However, in the 3rd section, the attack section of the code, Hero and Banjo filled up the spots the way Joker did in the World of Light section, leaving us with a remaining 12 slots that, if Terry fills up one, would then leave us 11 slots, and then if the final DLC fills up the final spot, that would be 10 extra spots after the Fighter's Pass, the way we were already guessing with the World of Light spots. What is interesting is that Piranha Plant and Joker filled up those spots in World of Light, whereas Hero and Banjo were just added to it. However, with this new attack section found where Hero and Banjo did actually fill spots, I have a bit of some speculation and theories to throw out about this. So this is just my own speculation, but the idea that those extra spots in World of Light were found in a datamine was pretty widely publicized. A lot of people were talking about that. It's very possible Nintendo found out about that and decided not to fill the spots with Hero and Banjo so as not to give us an idea of how many characters we might actually be getting. It's then possible this newly found attack section of the code that Hero and Banjo did fill with the same number of remaining unfilled slots as we would have expected from World of Light could point to Nintendo kind of missing that section, and since it's newly discovered, yeah, I think it's still totally possible 10 more characters after the Fighter's Pass could be what this is indicating. Of course, it's still even more likely, as it always has been, that Sakurai will just give us whatever number of characters he wants to give us. If it's just a few more after the Fighter's Pass and doesn't fill up 10, yeah, that could happen. If it goes over 10 and they just add more to the code, yeah, that could happen too. So pretty much we're exactly where we were before. Anyway, I don't think the code is going to give us the exact number of fighters, but there's somewhat of a case to be made for there to be 10 more after the Fighter's Pass. It's not a lock in any means, though. It's just a possibility that has some evidence behind it, and that still kind of holds up due to the fact that this attack code still follows that pattern that we were expecting World of Light to follow. Okay, so I know that's a lot of confusing stuff, but just in summary, 10 more characters after the Fighter's Pass, still possible, still has some evidence towards it. The possibility that it'll be any possible number, either more than 10 or less than 10, also still very likely. I think Sakurai will just give us whatever he feels like. Okay, so let's talk about some Smash news pertaining to potential characters that could get into Smash. So today we got some news about Overwatch and its potential to get into Smash. Jeff Kaplan offered up every Overwatch hero to Super Smash Bros. Roster. Jeff Kaplan, Vice President at Blizzard Entertainment and Lead Director of Overwatch, is quite emphatic about letting Nintendo and the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate development team use whatever character from Overwatch they'd like. Speaking to IGN in a recent interview, Kaplan said, when asked what Overwatch character he'd like to see guest star in Smash Bros. Ultimate, "To the Smash Bros. Team, whatever character you want, we love them all. They're all our babies. You can have any single one of them. We have 31 to choose from." But if he had to pick one, Kaplan said he'd have to choose Tracer. Which makes sense. Tracer's kind of the mascot for Overwatch, so that was the character I think most people were thinking would happen if Overwatch got into Smash. Now, does this mean Overwatch will get into Smash, or does this actually deconfirm Overwatch for Smash, as it seems to suggest that Overwatch isn't getting a character, isn't planned to get a character yet for Smash? Personally, I think it could kind of go either way. I think it more leans towards most likely there isn't a character planned. Like if I take it at face value, he's basically saying there isn't a character planned, but they'd be happy to give one to Nintendo. And with further DLC, I think that's possible. Nintendo could take them up on this offer and put an Overwatch character into Smash. But it doesn't seem like that deal is happening yet. It would be something that would have to happen now. Now that's if I take what he said at face value. I also have to consider the fact that SNK had a similar interview where they played very coy about everything and kind of acted like they weren't getting a character in Smash. I think they suggested this dog character, and we ended up getting Terry Bogard. So obviously that was already planned when that interview happened. So yeah, people can just lie and deflect. So it's possible that's what's happening here, but I think think more likely they're being honest here, especially offering up Tracer. The SNK interview didn't offer up Terry, for instance. They didn't talk about that. So I feel like if we are getting an Overwatch character for Smash, it would be later down the line. It would be something that would have to get negotiated for now and isn't negotiated for yet. Okay, so moving on past Overwatch, here's some information about a highly likely character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Over on Twitter, @UpSmashGod wrote this. Somebody in a group chat said the Samus and Ridley shot from the K. Rool Banjo reveal trailers looks like the Doom 2 cover art, and I can't unsee it. And then they posted a picture of both images, and yeah, it is a very similar pose. While this does look pretty spot on to me, it's probably just a coincidence. I do think a sequel to the Ridley trailer featuring Doomguy would be awesome if that's kind of what they'd be going for here. But I do think it's just a coincidence. I should point out that old Rathalos image that everyone was thinking looked a lot like a battle from Golden Sun, and obviously that didn't seem to be a reference to Isaac getting into Smash, so this might not be a reference at all to Doom getting into Smash. Doomguy, of course, does have a lot of stuff going for him. I went over all of these points in my last video, so go check that out if you want to know a bunch of good stuff going for Doomguy. I also saw this over on Twitter. @Doom wrote, "We hope you're ready. Hashtag Doom Eternal will launch on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch." Then someone wrote, @Doom Switch, okay, now you guys have to let us go and bring back Luigi from hell. And @Doom wrote back, "We'll try." Now, if you remember the Simon and Richter reveal trailer, Luigi actually got killed, or like his ghost got ripped out of his body in that trailer, so a Doom sequel trailer with Doomguy getting Luigi's soul back from hell would be pretty intense and pretty awesome in my opinion. I don't know if that will actually happen or anything, but that would be pretty darn cool. Also, all these skins for Doomguy, Indigo Doom, Bronze Doom, and Red Doom look really awesome and would make perfect alternate costumes for Doomguy in Smash. Okay, and now I have a pretty interesting theory that might help us narrow down when Terry might actually get released. So a little while back, Nintendo France actually banned Hero and future DLC characters from official Super Smash Bros. Ultimate tournaments. This was a really strange thing. They banned just Hero, allowing the other DLC characters to be fine, and then for some reason said future DLC characters were also banned. Over on my Discord, Sergio C. wrote me this. "So Papa, I got a hot take. Nintendo is officially doing a tournament in France. You might have heard of this since Hero was banned from it. However, Hero was not the only character banned. Here's an excerpt from the rules Nintendo shared." And then there's the quote in French. "A rough translation would be, thus, and without this list being limited, the hero and any character that may come from DLC after September 23rd are banned. This implies that Terry might be releasing within the tournament's runtime. The tournament will be between September 29th and November 3rd. Considering Piranha Plant released late January when expected to be released on February, could this possibly mean we're getting Terry late October or really early November?" That is totally a possibility for why they mentioned future DLC characters. It's an odd thing to mention, but if Terry was coming out in either late October or early November, we've been told November, but like they point out here, Piranha Plant was early, and honestly I felt like Banjo was early, so maybe they're just ahead of schedule. Even if they aren't ahead of schedule, if Terry was released before November 3rd, yeah, that would fit why they would ban future DLC. It would be happening during the tournament's runtime. Sergio C. went on to write me, "To add on to this, the Spanish tournament released their rule set the day Banjo got released and specifically stated any fighter that might launch prior to the tournament will be banned. Knowing that this rule set informative doc was not created within a single day, it is fair to assume they knowingly included that clause since they knew of Banjo's release being imminent." So the idea being that these official Nintendo tournaments likely know the exact release dates for the characters for Smash and would maybe have rules that could ban characters that might get released right around the time of the tournament, so, no one's coming in with a character no one has any experience with. I was kind of guessing Terry might come out around the time of the Amiibos. That happened with Joker, and it happened with Hero. So the next set of Amiibos are in November, and they are Incineroar, Simon Belmont, and Chrom on November 15th. So I was thinking Terry might happen around then. However, Banjo released in early September, and we didn't get the September Amiibo wave until September 20th, so it is totally possible that this whole Amiibo lining up with release dates thing is completely off the table. And yeah, this idea that a tournament could be banning future DLC fighters because they know Terry will actually be out in time for this tournament before November 3rd is a real possibility. So then, in the end, this official Nintendo of France tournament actually decided to unban Hero, so why they banned Hero in the first place, I have no idea. Okay, next I just want to highlight a really good write-up about that whole Jane pony hair datamine thing for Joker that never really got resolved. So over on Twitter, at OzzySSB wrote about Smash Ultimate's mystery datamine character Jane, the definitive analysis. And there is a long write-up, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, about what exactly was going on with that whole Jane datamine. So if you want to know more information about that, I'll leave a link in the description of this video going over to that post so you can check them out. The end result is basically still inconclusive, but seems the logical conclusion is that Kasumi Yashizawa was very likely an alternate costume for Joker at one point in development, but was, for whatever reason, scrapped. Maybe it could happen down the line, who knows? I still have my own kind of conspiracy theory about what might have been happening with the whole Jane pony hair thing. I think it might have possibly been that they were working on a future DLC fighter and using Joker as the base, and that character was probably Jill Valentine. She sometimes has a ponytail. I could see Jane being her codename, but that is, again, just my own little conspiracy theory. So we'll see if that happens or not, but I know it's kind of reaching. Another really interesting thing that was found over on Twitter is a little Easter egg for Banjo. This is coming from at ImsalYT. They wrote, "I cannot believe no one else has pointed this out, to my knowledge. The most obvious Easter egg hidden in plain sight. This syncs up too well to be a coincidence." Banjo's rapid jab in Smash Ultimate has the same rhythm as the banjo in the Banjo-Kazooie main theme. And then they posted a video that syncs them both up together, and it is undeniable that the rapid jab is definitely going to the same rhythm as the banjo in the main theme for Banjo-Kazooie. I'll leave a link to this in the description below, so go check it out. It's actually really, really neat. I can't believe I didn't notice it myself, but once you hear it, you cannot disagree. It is definitely going to that beat. And then there was some unfortunate news today. Mario and Luigi studio AlphaDream files for bankruptcy. So AlphaDream is the studio that makes the Mario and Luigi games, such as Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, and they have filed for bankruptcy, unfortunately. I know their last games didn't sell so well. I believe the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga remake on 3DS kind of happened at the end of the 3DS's life cycle and didn't bode so well sales-wise. So that's really unfortunate. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Mario RPG games. I like Paper Mario, I like the Mario and Luigi games, and I like the original Super Mario RPG. So this is pretty sad to hear. So speaking of Mario RPG stuff, here's a kind of reaching thing that could potentially be some sort of hint towards Geno. There was an official Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Tournament event, the next big superstar, and this is the image they used to promote it. So over on Twitter, TekkenJ2000 wrote hashtag Geno for Smash, posted that image that was alongside the tournament, and then also posted an image from Super Mario RPG. And yeah, they do kind of line up. It's a star, and then there are, characters around it reaching in. It's kind of similar to the stars in Super Mario RPG, the way they are set up in your little star piece inventory screen. Yeah, I know it's pretty reaching, but I'm a big Geno fan, so anything that points towards Geno possibly getting into Smash, yeah, I'm taking a look at it. Okay, so that's everything I got for you guys today. If you have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff I talked about in this video, leave them below. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. It really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.